Arkansas Razorbacks squared off against the Missouri Tigers earlier today in the Battle Line rivalry. And let's send it over to sports director Alex Stewart for a quick recap of the Hogs season finale. Alex.
Yeah, Lauren, now it is over. Full disclosure, I had multiple outfit options to choose from tonight after getting back from the game, depending on how it all went. But I decided to go with all black because we can finally bury this season 6 feet deep. Joking, of course, but the team celebrating senior day today, a lot of big names like Cam Ball will be missed next year. As for the game itself, interesting, KJ Jackson got the start at quarterback for Arkansas, but Taylor Green would rotate in, and this one very competitive going into the half. The Hogs actually led 17-14, but behind 322 yards on the ground, Missouri would run away with this one in the second half to win their 4th straight Battle Line rivalry, 31-17, bringing a close to a season that the Hogs had hoped would be better. They're still grateful for.
For me, being here 5 years, man, through the thick and thin, before NIL, it's been one hell of a ride, man, and I'm grateful to be here that long. This state, this university, it means the world to me.
Everybody in this state really rallied behind me. I've really felt that, and rallied behind this team even though things weren't going our way, and I'm just forever grateful to be a Hog.
As always, we'll have the full highlights plus a breakdown of the game later in sports, but Arkansas falls to Mizzou 31-17, dropping to 2-10 this season.
Well, thanks, Alex. After a huge Black Friday, small businesses are getting their turn. Adobe Analytics says Small Business Saturday is expected to top $5.5 billion. And from Fayetteville to Fort Smith, local makers, shops, and breweries spent the day showing why supporting local matters this holiday season. Coming off the heels of a record-breaking Black Friday with shoppers spending more than $11.8 billion, according to Adobe Analytics, small businesses are hoping some of that momentum carries into the weekend.
For the local vendors is to just give them the space and to promote them as much as we can and kind of give them a little leg up.
For makers like Randy Sparks, who showcased her work at Fossil Cove, it's a creative outlet for her.
I'm a full-time art teacher, but I do this whenever I get a chance because I just love to make stuff.
And she says spaces like this help customers discover what makes Northwest Arkansas so special.
It's really hard to have a passion and love to create things, but not be able to find a place to sell it or to meet people who are interested in your art as well.
The vast majority of the businesses in downtown are small businesses. A lot of those are family-owned businesses. So we really want to put our money here locally.
In Fort Smith, people spent the day supporting local with some hot chocolate in hand for their Cocoa Crawl. Each downtown business was a stop with hundreds of people participating.
Last year was such a huge success. We're like, hey, let's bring it back. Because last year I polled some businesses and they said that they had 70% more foot traffic than they would on a typical Saturday.
As holiday spending continues to climb, Cyber Monday expected to top $14.2 billion. Local makers say a few dollars spent here can have a bigger impact.
The more places we have like this to support small businesses and local artists, the easier it is for everybody to get connected to cool stuff that they like.
Main Street Fort Smith was forced to cancel its annual tree lighting ceremony due to inclement weather. Originally set for 5 o'clock tonight, the group announced on their Facebook page that they would be canceling the tree lighting due to the rain. Even without the ceremony, Main Street Fort Smith says the lights were turned on tonight and will continue to be lit throughout the holiday season. But it's not the only Christmas lights you can go see in the River Valley. Van Buren has some downtown, but more importantly, you can check out the 35-foot tree at Freedom Park, or the amazing 3-quarter drive-through light show at the Dr. Lewis Pier Memorial Park. And Fort Smith is continuing its tradition of the 26th year of the Creekmore Express. Of course, it's at Creekmore Park. They offer a train ride that takes visitors on a tour throughout the holiday lights throughout the space. Visitors can keep checking out the awesome ride until December 27th. Meanwhile, in Springdale, the weather couldn't dampen the holiday spirit. The annual Christmas on the Creek brought festive cheer to the heart of downtown. The full-day event had a holiday vendor market showcasing local artists and makers, live music, and of course, the annual lighting of the Christmas tree in Shiloh Square. Since it's also Small Business Saturday, Centerpiece Floral and Home braved the rain to sell wreaths and garlands, helping everyone get in the holiday mood while supporting local businesses.
Especially now with Black Friday being online, it's so hard to compete, but shopping small is so important to our community and keeping the economy alive.
In addition to shopping small, there was plenty of fun for the kids, too. They had a chance to meet Santa and the Grinch at the train station to share their Christmas wishes. Well, happening on Monday, Crystal Bridges Museum in Bentonville's new lecture series called Building Bridges will start with its first guest being none other than former President Barack Obama. The lecture series brings together leaders, thinkers, and artists with different perspectives to model civil dialogue. Of the 450 Arkansas students and teachers to privately meet and talk with the President Obama, 3 high school seniors from Bentonville, Little Rock, and Springdale are set to discuss their own civic engagement and hopes for America's next 250 years. I'll be there on Monday giving you the highlights. Well, $100 million given to the people of Arkansas. It sounds like it comes from a very rich person or a very generous charity. But for Dennis Milligan, it's just his job. Carter Threet tells us about the state auditor and how you could maybe get some of that money.
The claim to fame is the Great Arkansas Treasure Hunt, which technically is unclaimed property.
Unclaimed property, according to Arkansas State Auditor Dennis Milligan, is things like a last paycheck, an inheritance, a deposit that a person needs back, and more.
That's probably the most fun of the office, is getting Arkansans back their money.
Money that, as of this week, now totals $100 million since Milligan took office in 2023. Austin Bunting of Pine Bluff has some on the way.
I went to their website, put in my information, and it's a real easy process.
But it's not just Arkansans.
I live in Hilo, Hawaii, the Big Island.
But Leslie McBride's dad lived in Arkansas before passing away. She and her 4 siblings all got over $1,000 from Milligan's office, a better experience than working with auditors in other states.
It was faster, it was easier, and it was, I was able to talk to a person quickly.
It's comments like those that are encouraging to Milligan as his office goes for the next $100 million.
What better time now than Christmas? It's a good time to get a check at any time, but what now, the timing right now for those getting checks around Christmas time, fantastic.
It's pretty cool. That was Carter Threet reporting. Arkansas just passed a law allowing the auditor's office to get your money by check without having to do anything. But if you want to be proactive, you can go to claimitar.gov to get started. Milligan says 1 in 4 Arkansans are owed money.
Absolute priority to us. This is the most important part of our work, in my opinion, all year long.